Oh, I've got to move. Hang on a minute. Here we go. JimBob's coming in. Mr. JimBob is coming in.
Hey!
Oh,
Wow.
I need
what
to...
a... Look at the state of me.
I was going to say, that's a nice haircut. Both of you had haircuts.
Yeah, this morning when you spoke to me, I had long, slick back hair and a beard, and now I still look quite old despite everything. The chin gets bigger every time. How are you doing, man?
I'm okay, yeah. You've been dyeing your hair grey like I have as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the look.
And every haircut I go, these bits at the side just get a little bit further back every single time.
Yeah, oh, that's all the cool kids are rocking that look at the
moment. Things we were going to do, we've been listening to, for some reason, right, the radio station you came on today, Jack, I enjoy it a lot, but they play Hello by The Beloved. Do you remember that song?
I do, yeah.
They play that.
I've got that, I think.
It's a great song, right? They play it all the time, and it's been my earworm all day.
Yeah.
And
it's got a Cannon and Ball reference in it. Why would you not remember that?
Yeah, what other song would reference Cannon and Ball in it? So that's been in my head all day, and we were jokingly going to say that was our favourite song by Carter, just to get the lay of the land. To see, but I bottled it.
Yeah,
completely.
He said, "How do you think he would take that?" And I said, "He would be polite, and he would be, like what you're doing now."
I've got Mary Had a Little Lamb in my head.
The Paul McCartney version, or just the nursery rhyme?
The Pressy children's book version. I spent the day with my granddaughter and sort of... so, yeah. That's
How old's your granddaughter?
27, no. She's 9 months.
Oh, that's when it's still magic. That's fantastic. Yeah. Congratulations.
I've got baby food. Not baby food. Food. They don't have baby food anymore, babies, do they? Just have food.
Baby-led weaning.
Ella's pockets was Do you not get those anymore?
I think you can, but
is it frowned upon now? Is it?
No, not at all. But nowadays they just say give them a bit of what you're having and just make sure they don't choke.
No.
Yeah, that's what we did with my second. The first one I spent ages making like purees and things, and it seemed to be the longer I spent making them, the shorter she spent considering eating them. But the youngest one would just be like, right, what are we having? She's great.
Wow.
A lot less faffing about.
You don't get Farley's rusks anymore?
No, you just chuck them a couple of chips.
We got some of your people in the chat. Smoking Jacket says, "Good evening, JimBob. Can you do an update of 2020? What the fuck? 2022 is even worse."
Yeah, well, maybe I will. I don't know. The thing with that is I was sort of I didn't it was a guess. It was a lucky guess. I didn't know everything was going to be bad. I just took a guess, but now it seems more certain, doesn't it? So it'd be a bit easy, wouldn't it?
Everything is... Anyway, listen, let's not be miserable. It's so lovely to speak to you twice. It's like Phil Collins playing Wembley, then getting on Concorde and playing in Philadelphia on the same day. This is what this feels like, speaking to you twice.
I've been on Concorde.
Have you?
Yeah.
They're not very comfortable from what I hear.
Yeah, really thin. That's what I remember. Very narrow. Not a lot of room.
Were there... I'm assuming you were on there when you were a pop star.
Yeah.
Paid for by the record company, no doubt.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Were you on in time for a dinner, or was it too fast?
I don't remember. I remember that there was the stewardess. What do you call them? Steward. It was a man.
Steward.
What do they call them? They're not called stewards. They're not called stewards, are they?
They're just cabin crew now, I think, aren't they?
Cabin crew. The cabin crew was a sort of elderly gentleman, and my memory is he was dressed like a butler. but everybody else on the plane were all these kind of, rich businessmen. And then there was me and Les. And I think they asked us and the butler asked if we wanted to meet the pilot, because I think he thought we'd won a competition or something.
You're surely out of place, sir. Would you like to go and make a day of it?
Do you? Because when Carter was a going concern, that was at the days when record companies were still chucking a lot of money around, wasn't it? Probably. Coming towards the end of those days. Do you miss that? Do you miss that? Did you appreciate it at the time? The ridiculous amount of money that was being chucked everywhere.
No, not at all. And I didn't realise that it would still be. It's a bit like a student loan, in a way.
Oh.
No, that's terrible. I don't know. I wasn't a student, but we still owe EMI about £800,000.
Shit.
And that's going back to the mid-90s.
That's
They
awful.
never tell you that bit of pop starring them, do they?
Are you actually paying that off though? Is every month, is there like 50 quid going to EMI?
We don't actually pay it, so we don't have to pay it back, but it just means if they ever make any money,
right,
they take their cut.
Right.
But we don't get our cut. Just so
that's outrageous.
You should have gone to meet the pilot.
Yeah, so we did. So, but that's what happens if you go on Concorde and stuff like that. It seems like fun at the time, but later on you go, "Oh,
I paid for it.
Oh, we pay for that." But yeah, you know,
I'd have made a good pop star.
Oh my God!
Well, first of all, I've got a great singing voice. I write great songs. I won't do one now, but I could make one up just like that, and it would be awesome. What are you pulling that face for?
Well, they're all of a similar theme, aren't they?
They're all about making love in the afternoon. But you'd enjoy being a pop star.
I would have loved being a pop star. I've narrowly avoided being in a Spice Girls tribute band. That would have been wicked.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been fun. But I thought homework was important back then.
Ironically,
Stupid.
That's where the Spice Girls are now.
Is there
Spice Girls tribute band?
Is there a Carter tribute band? Someone must have done something.
There have been. I know of one for. I've sort of known of about 3. There was one in Australia at the time. I remember them. But the best one now is still going. Called Clinton USM, who are Japanese.
Oh,
you can find them on YouTube, and they're
some of that.
And we've met them, and they're really nice guys. But they don't. Well, at least there's 2 of them. One of them doesn't speak English hardly at all, so they sing kind of. They've just learnt the words as sounds.
right.
So it's sort of But
that's among my favourite things. That kind of band.
So they're pretty amazing.
I'm assuming you have a huge following in Japan.
Yeah, I haven't been for so long.
Have you not?
No, not for a long time.
You seem like the kind of artist that is ripe. So you know that joke about we're big in Japan, but you seem like the kind of artist that I would imagine would be ripe for a huge. You know, you arrive and there's screaming fans and stuff.
I mean, we were at the time. You know, it's the only. But I don't know about now. But there were only 2 places that we were ever chased down the street, and that was Tokyo and just outside Tipperary. that's like in a car, like a 4 people running after the car.
Wow.
I don't know why it happened just outside Tipperary, but Tokyo more expected, maybe.
I'm taking my boys to Tokyo next year. I love Japan. I've been there a few times, and my boys are of an age, and I've sold so much shit. I had loads of Monkeys memorabilia, and I just sold loads of it. And I sold a record for £700. Imagine having a record worth that much, and just pulled it all into a fund and taking the boys to Japan. I'll suss out whether it's worth you going over there for a tour.
Yeah, if you could sort of just do some vox popping.
I do a little bit of...
Do a bit of a poll.
I will. And do you know what? I'm actually going to do that.
You will.
And I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, great.
And then we'll see. We should, of course, talk about the new compilation. I was talking about it on the radio, but now you guys can see it. The Essential JimBob. It's the same guy... Oh, we've gone out of focus now. It's the same guy that does your artwork, isn't it, for the last few albums? Who is that? Because he's brilliant.
Mark Reynolds, his name is. I think he's Stuffed by Mark. I think he's called on the internet.
Stuffed by Mark. That's it. Yes. Every now and then, something he does will get retweeted to me.
Because I think the first thing he did, as far as I know, the first thing he did for money was like my album, like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that was. But since then, he's had to leave he's left his actual job and is now,
he's doing it for proper.
So good.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and we talked about this on the Breakfast Show, but let's pretend none of these people will have listened to it. It's the difference between essential, best of, greatest hits.
Yeah, I mean, I did seriously think about it, because I think Cherry Red just wanted to do a collection. They didn't really want to call it anything in particular, but I think it was because I had the Clash. The Clash did the Essential Clash,
right?
And I sort of looked at that and I thought, maybe let's do something more like that, which what we sort of spoke about this morning, wasn't it? How it doesn't have to be in chronological order.
Yeah.
Whereas a greatest hits usually is, isn't it?
See, I didn't realise that. I learned that on the way back from the school run as I was listening to Jack
What?
FM Oxford.
What did you learn?
That's the way they do it. The format is chronological order.
It's
Greatest
almost-
hits. I'd never noticed it before.
Talking about the Monkees, I got so many Monkees greatest hits, and they always go Monkees theme, Last Train to Clarksville. They always follow that order, and then sometimes when they do try and spice it up a little bit by mixing them around, it confuses my brain, because I go, no, that's Stepping Stone should follow I'm a Believer and why are we talking about that?
I just found it interesting. Can carry on.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
Because I think on this Essential thing album, I think the last track on the album is possibly the oldest one, and to me, it sounds like somebody else. I can't hear me at all. It's really weird.
So how long? How recent is? What time span do these songs cover?
I don't know. I've got one. Hang on, I've got it over here. It will say when it. I'm going to say something like 2006 or something. Maybe the first one.
How are you at going back and listening to stuff that you've done? Do you go back and go, I should have done this, I wish I'd done that? Or can you go back and listen to stuff from, say, 10 years and go, yeah, no, that's pretty much what I wanted it to sound like?
So I think the stuff that I if I listened to and didn't like, I probably didn't like that much at the time.
Right.
I think if it was okay, if it was good at the time, if I was happy with it then I probably would be. I can sort of, I don't sort of, I mean, pretty much everything I've ever done, I've thought I could have done that better. But that's, you have to sort of recognise your own limitations, don't you?
Can you still believe that this is your job? Obviously there was the huge, kind of pop stardom of Carter. But there aren't many people from that era that are still doing it, that are still making a living out of it,
no.
That are still selling records, that are still selling out shows. Can you believe that you're still here, 2022, nearly 2023?
No, we had like a big shot lawyer at the time with Carter. We needed one because we kept getting sued. But he told us that we needed to get a private pension because there was nobody in the music, nobody in bands worked beyond the age of 50. That was,
yeah.
40 was pushing it. 50 it just doesn't happen because that was pre Rolling Stones. I don't know how old they were then. They were probably in their 40s or something, weren't they?
Yeah.
So at that time, yeah. So it did seem sort of, it would definitely be all over by 40.
Did you get the private pension?
No.
Oh, you suckers. There's that great picture, isn't there, of the travelling Wilburys in their pomp and prime, and it's like 42, 43, 40,
We all grew up thinking they were ancient.
They were ancient, they're all younger than me.
Babies.
But that's it's like politicians who are old-looking Tory politicians who are all sort of, for me, like 30 years younger than me or something, or 20, and they just look like old men.
I'm assuming it's still fun. I'm assuming you enjoy writing and recording and going out and playing this stuff.
Yeah, I do, very much so, yeah. And especially at the moment because I'm playing. So I did a lot of, naturally, I was just about to, I'm contradicting myself. I was going to say I enjoy it particularly now because I'm playing with a band, the full band. But I actually enjoyed it when it was just me and my manager and a roadie / driver in a car. So
yeah,
it's definitely do enjoy it.
What are the shows you're doing? You see, I saw that you've been rehearsing with a live band. That is always exciting. I played in bands for a little bit, and we were shit. But there is something about standing in front of 3, 4, 5 people that are making a lot of noise. When someone's really playing the drums and the guitar, there's something really visceral about that.
Yeah, it is incredibly exciting, especially when you're in, when it's. Because often you do gigs that have gone really well and the crowd have loved it, and then you look at maybe a video of it or something, you think, it's never quite as good.
Yeah.
It's never quite as good as it is when you're actually there, is it? I don't think.
So what shows are you doing? You said this morning it's only a handful.
Yeah, it's 8. Got them on over here somewhere. It's the only way I can remember them is to Newcastle, Glasgow, Sheffield, Manchester, Oxford, Birmingham, Bournemouth for some reason, and London Islington Assembly Hall.
Why have we not been to one of his shows? We were going to go once, and then something happened, didn't it? When we were at Talk,
Yeah.
we were going to go to a show.
Was it the lockdown that happened?
Was it the plague?
Was it the plague?
It might have been. It might have been the plague. Something. There was some reason.
We were all set to go, weren't we?
We have to go.
All right.
Be rude not to.
If you don't mind, we'll come.
We'll come along.
Just come along. Come to all of them. Come to all of them.
Well, that might be pushing it a little bit, but we'll definitely come along to one of them. That would be fun. So what's the plan? Have you got a new album? If I were to say to you, right, JimBob, you've got a studio and you've got a band, you've got a month. Have you got an album ready to go inside of you, or are you an empty vessel?
I've just finished recording one.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So now I am an empty vessel, but I've got an album ready for next year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting.
Which some people, me, are saying is the best thing I've ever done.
Does it contain a song about making love in the afternoon? Because if
not,
it's not too late.
Well, it's not just one song about making love. It's a concept. It's just why I was surprised when you said it.
Who do you listen to, JimBob? Do you listen to music?
Yeah, I do. I tend to listen to mostly I listen to music that I used to listen to years ago.
Right.
Most of the time, so I'll still be listening to the Jam or Dexys or Orange Juice, all those sort of things that I really liked when I was a teenager. But Bright Eyes, I love Bright Eyes. And I'm trying to think of people who are still going. Who else do I like? Yes, I do listen to music. I just can't think of anyone at the moment. I am guilty of listening to the same records I listened to when I was 18.
Yeah, I think I've got enough bands. I do listen to quite a lot of pop. My boys like listening to Capital. So I do like listening to all of that stuff, and I quite enjoy it, but I'm not meant to. But I have enough bands. Dexys is a band I keep meaning. Everyone keeps saying to me, Dexys' first 3 albums. The first 3 albums are amazing. You should listen to it.
You've liked the idea of Dexys for a long time,
but
haven't you?
I haven't got the commitment to sit down and actually listen to those first 3 albums.
Well, maybe your time will come.
They are amazing.
Yeah,
I'd say. But I know what you mean about not. When you're not. Say you think I've got 45 minutes now. I can listen to some music. Yeah. What do I want to listen to? Something new? And you think, no, maybe I'll just listen to Elvis Costello's second album because that's what I want to hear.
When I was 15, 16, I'd put anything on. Right, let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. Now as I approach 50,
do you think we've fallen prey to the thing that the kids have got now, where it's like narrow casting? Basically, it's easier to go for things you already know rather than having to sit and listen to the radio and then it being a massive surprise and a delight when you hear something you like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We just got what we were given, didn't we, back then?
Yeah, we probably had. Yeah, we don't know.
More choice now.
Yeah, but not less. Maybe less choice on the radio. Do you think? I don't know.
Yeah. Because there's certain stations just it's the same thing over and over.
But there's only a handful of stations, and I mean Jack's playlist is fucking insane. It's supposed to be like 90s onwards, but it doesn't make any sense.
Also, some of the breakfast time choices, they played Prince "Get Off Again" today.
They played that a lot, and the word "ass" is bleeped out, but "jizz" isn't bleeped out.
Did they do the lyric about a little box with a mirror and a tongue inside?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine for breakfast.
And if I were to read those lyrics out, I'd get told off. But Prince can go on there and wang on about it all the flipping time. Honestly, the Jack playlist is so insane. I don't really understand it, but it feeds my kids. So yes, okay, I will take some of that. But apart from that, there's nowhere that plays everything is very, very narrow. Capital is great, and my boys love it, but it's very, very narrow. You're not going to get anything, that's too far out of the centre.
No.
There.
Well, you have to listen to someone like Keris Matthews on 6 or something, don't you? Then you get a bit more of a mixture.
Yeah, I suppose.
But you might have to listen to a 12-minute bongo solo at some point.
The thing about Jack is we play way too much Kaiser Chiefs. Jesus.
I think that's what you like.
Flippin' heck, too much Kaiser Chiefs. I I think you should be on like with Zoe Ball. Jim.
Yeah.
And I know that's not how the industry works, and that not everyone gets the breaks they deserve. But if Zoe Ball said right, and tomorrow we got JimBob on,
it would feel right.
It would feel right. Do you get frustrated?
Yeah, but not. I don't want to be bitter, so I think that's sort of. If I get frustrated, but I kind of, it doesn't really matter in the general scheme of things. I think I haven't really got a gimmick. I haven't got I haven't got a, and it's going to sound bad. So I've started saying it, and I regretted even thinking it. But I haven't got a sort of. I don't know. I think if I was in some sort of accident or something,
Jesus Christ.
I haven't got I haven't got a story.
Oh right, there's not the shorthand that JimBob that this happened to.
I haven't got a kind of like a sort of private detective's quirk.
The wonderful Frank Sidebottom would always say, "You've got to have a gimmick," and his gimmick was a pink tie. Everyone's got to have a gimmick. This is mine. It's a pink tie. The silly sod. Miss him so much. JimBob, it's always lovely to see you. The album, The Essential JimBob, go to Cherry Records. Is such a great
Cherry Red.
Cherry Red, yeah.
Cherry Red, yeah.
It's such a great record label. I remember years ago when my dad died, right? And I thought, I'm just going to go on there and buy albums that I like the look of. And I bought T and Carter and all these things. And some of them were really, really bad. But some of them were these amazing, obscure records from the 60s and the 70s. I spent about 200 quid, right? And it's such a good record label. Just go and have a little wander. Because Christmas approaches. Go and have a little wander through there.
There's so much stuff on there, isn't there? It's like they're just constantly releasing stuff.
It's beautiful. And while you're tiptoeing through there, the Essential JimBob would make a wonderful Christmas present for anybody. Ideally, if they're a fan, but even if they're not, just buy it. Force them to listen to it.
Yeah. Hopefully the fans are already buying it.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Imagine if at this point they went, fuck it. We've given him 30 odd years. I'm out now. I'm tapping out. And all of I was looking on there today, and there the more recent albums are there as well, and there's vinyl versions, and there's CDs, and there's all that kind of shenanigans. And the live shows are happening this month, are they? They're in November.
Yeah, starts next Wednesday.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, it's always lovely to see you, man. Thank you so much. I always feel thrilled that you come and talk to us, and I feel slightly frustrated and bitter that you're not on Zoe Ball, and stuff. Allow us to be bitter for you, because
that's okay.
It's a shitty business.
We'll write her a letter.
We'll
write her a letter.
What are you playing at, Ball?
Come on, Ball.
Send her a postcard.
It's so lovely to see you, man, and hopefully we'll get to come and see you on one of the shows at some point.
That'd be lovely.
Nice to see you, JimBob.
Take care, JimBob. Stay safe.
Right, cheers.
See you later. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. There we go.
Oh, he's so nice.
Isn't he? I like that guy so much.